Hey everybody, Patty Ann here. Hang on just a sec. I've got a new tutorial for you today, and I'm using a new font to me from Creative Fabrica. If you have the subscription, I highly recommend you grab this, but even if you don't have the subscription, it might be well worth it to you. So let me show you first of all what it is. It's a really pretty font like this, and you can make your own SVGs. Let's see if I put this behind, maybe you can see a little bit better. And you can use this in Cricut Design Space, and I'll show you what I remember from Design Space. And I'm also going to have to give you a link up above so that I can link you to one of my older videos, because I no longer have the software needed in Cricut Design Space to find the glyphs in my fonts, because I don't use Cricut Design Space for that. I design my fonts and my sayings over in Silhouette. So let's go look at my screen and get started. Okay, let's start by looking at the font that I'm talking about, and I love this font. And yes, I see it's called Holidays Christmas, but I'm telling you, you can use this font for birthdays, you can use it for graduations, you can use it for Valentine's Day, you can use it for cake toppers, for everything. It's just a really cool font. So look at the screen here, and you can see what this font looks like. Look how they're able to change up the letters and put these little swirls and curlicues on there, and even make this little banner thing right here. Okay, let's look. What else have they got? So look at this. So lots of times you see SVGs that you purchase that have all these little swirly things. Well, you don't need to purchase them anymore. Just get this font one time, and I'm going to teach you how to make your own things. Look how cute that is. So all you have to do is download it, and it'll come right down here in your downloaded area. After you download it, you'll click on it to open it, and you will get two different types of fonts. The open type and the true type. I always open the open type. But before I can even open it, I have to say extract all, and then I'll just say extract. And then I'll double click on the one I want to install, so it'll be this one. And then all I have to do is click the word install here, and it will install it on my computer for all the applications that I have. The only thing is, you're going to get frustrated because you might forget to restart whatever program it is you're using before it will show up. So you can install it, you'll go back to the program, you'll look for it, you'll be like, whoa, that did not work. Yes, it did. You have to close out your program first and then reopen it, and it'll magically appear. So I've already done this, so let's get past this and go now to Cricut Design Space. So here I've started up a new project. Let me just go to new again and replace. And I'm going to get that font by just coming over here to the text tool, and I'll type in birthday. Okay. And I'm going to change that font now because I don't want it in Cricut Sans. I'm going to change it to the Holiday Christmas one. So I can come right up here where it says search fonts, and I'll type in the word holiday and hit enter. And there are two fonts there that start with the word holiday. So I'm going to click on this one, the Holiday Christmas one. That's the one I want. And it automatically changed it to that. Here's the thing. I like this font okay here, and it looks pretty good, except for that I can't get all those pretty swirls and different kinds of letters here in Cricut Design Space easily. As I said, I'll have a link for you up above to one of my older videos. Hopefully it still works just the same way, where it shows how to get glyphs in Cricut Design Space. The other thing you could do, of course, is you can get one more look to it if you type in the text and you put all caps on. It'll look a little bit different. And maybe that's all you want. Just click on that, bring it down, and I can make it bigger. So I do have some prettier fonts right there that I could add to it if I want. But if I want to get all those really cool swirlies, I like to work over there in Silhouette. And I'm telling you, then I bring it over here for my Cricut. And, well, I don't think I had one saved here. I did it upstairs on my laptop. New. What's happening? Okay, upload. I don't think I have anything. It's unable to load images. Well, we'll come back to this in just a little bit. So let's minimize that. And let's go to Silhouette now. Here we are in Silhouette, and this shows some of the things that you can do with this program. Now, I just love it. And you can save these things for your Cricut. So here was the Happy Holidays one, or Holidays Christmas. I just brought that one in because I tried to replicate it kind of right here. And then not only did I replicate it there, but I added the Christmas tree that also comes in this font. So you're wondering, where's the Christmas tree? Where's the deer that are in the font and the little stars? Let me show you how easy this is. So let's pretend like we're going to do happy birthday. Now, for this program, all you need to have is the designer edition to have this work properly. So if you can't afford to get the business edition right away, but you want to do stuff like this for your Cricut machine, just buy the designer edition and you'll be able to do it. And the reason why is this. If you don't have the designer edition, and let me type in the word birthday, and I'll show you how I did that in a minute. And you click on this and you come over here to the font tool. This little G isn't going to show up. And that G, if you hover over it, stands for the word glyphs. And that's where you find all the magical stuff. So let me show you. If I delete this and let me go back to help, and I could show you what this looks like if I just have the free version. That's called the standard edition. It changed it now. I have the standard edition. And I type in the word birthday. And I come over here. Check it out now. No longer is that G in here, so I can't find those glyphs easily. However, if I go to help and change it, view in designer edition, and then I click off of this textile, and then click back on it, look what shows up now, the G again. So you have to have the deluxe edition to be able to do this with the glyphs. With the rest of the stuff, you don't need it. So keep following along. If you want to change, let's say first of all, you don't even want to mess with the glyphs. Let's get rid of this birthday word one more time and click in the word, let's type in happy. And I don't want all caps this time, so HAPPY. On the next line, I'll put in birthday. Okay, just like that. Now, let's say I want to go ahead over here and open up this font. And if it didn't come in all automatically at Holidays Christmas, like yours may not, you can scroll down until you get to it, and these are in alphabetical order, or you can type it in up here, and you should get to it quickly. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to come right here where it says justify center. That means to center the two lines so that they're centered right up above each other and below each other. So I'm going to click on that. Perfect. Now what I could do if I was just going to keep it like this is I could change the line spacing like we do in Cricut Design Space. You see I can make them far apart or very close together. But what I want to do right now is show you how easy it is to just put an offset around these if you want to make a simple cake topper. So right now, if I cut these out, they would cut out as individual letters. Wouldn't be a very good cake topper. They'd fall all over the place, right? I'm going to make my line spacing a little bit, oops, click on them, make my line spacing a little bit closer. And then all I have to do is click on these, come over here to the star that has an offset on it, click on it, and that opens up the offset panel. The next thing I'm going to do is just say offset. Check it out. It put a crazy looking offset or an offset all around all of this. And you may want it that big and you may not. But I'll leave it that big for right now. With the offset selected, of course, I could change its color to anything I want. Maybe I want that. Maybe I'm doing a Dr. Seuss themed party. And notice what's going to cut. It's going to cut all around the edge of this, but it's also going to go in here and cut this part. If I don't want it to cut that part, and I don't, what I would probably do is just move this over here and come up here and say Object, Release the Compound Path. Now you may remember from previous classes when we release the compound path, it puts little boxes around everything so we could select things to color them if we're making an SVG. Well, this time I just want to get rid of that little hole. So I'm going to say release the compound path. Notice it put boxes around a couple of things. And what I'm going to do now is weld. Remember, just like in Cricut Design Space, weld's going to kind of melt everything together so it's one piece. So I'm going to say weld. And look, check it out. There's no more cut there. I can put this back here. If If I want it to be lined up perfectly, I can select both of these and come up here to where it says center. And there it is, just like that. Then I can group these. Oops, I didn't mean to ungroup it. I can group these and grab this file. Oh, now I won't be able to save this the way we ordinarily do for Cricut Design Space, but if it's just going to be a simple print and cut like this, what I can do is this. Come down to my snipping tool. You should have a snipping tool if you have a Windows machine, and you'll have something else if you have the Mac. But with my snipping machine, I'm just going to say new, and it's going to pop up just like this. Then I'm going to snip around here. Here's the thing. I don't want to snip it like that. Let me cancel that for a second. Do I want to save it? No. What I want to do is I want to move that off of my mat where my little grid lines are showing up, because I don't want them to show up in my snip. So now there's nothing behind it, and I'll get that little snipping tool again. Snipping tool. I'll say new, and it makes the screen look kind of weird, but I get this like crosshairs here, and I can draw a box around this, and it's going to save it just like that. And I can go to File, Save As, and I save things in my download folder usually, and I'll name this one Happy. Or did I type birthday? I don't even remember already. I typed happy birthday for Cricut. I'll type happy birthday for Cricut. And now I can save this snip thing as a JPEG and say save. So check it out. Let's go back over to Cricut now. And I can upload an image, and I can browse. And I need to go to my download folder. Okay, let's see, today's downloads. Whoops, don't go that fast. There it is. Happy birthday for Cricut. Open that up. I always choose complex and say continue. And now if I want to get rid of all this white stuff behind it, because I just want the nicely offset thing for my cake topper, I can click here, say continue. This is what it's going to cut like. Say save. Okay, I don't know why that's saying that. I have an internet connection. Oh my gosh. Hang on, you guys. Let me double check. Something's wrong with Cricut Design Space right now. Maybe we can come back later and check this out. So let's go back to Silhouette, and I'll show you what else we can do. So here we are in Silhouette, and let me show you how I did this Happy New Year one, the one I showed you in the very beginning. So all you have to do is come over here to the text tool on the very left hand side, click on this, type in happy, and then I put New Year on the second line. Whoops. Okay. And then I clicked off and clicked back on. I came way over here to the text style panel and clicked on that. That opened up that panel. And I said to center this like that. Now I notice my text is a little bit too close together, my lines, so I'm going to space it apart a little bit more. And now's when I'm going to put this one over here, and I'll try to mimic it, do the same thing I just did. Okay, so here we go. So the first thing I did was I changed some of these fonts, right? So I'm going to change the H. I just double clicked in here, and then I'm back in the font editing mode, and we know that because of this light blue line here and the green box around it. Now I'm able to choose this H, come over here, notice Holidays Christmas is still selected here. I'm going to look at the glyphs now, the fancy letters, and I'm going to find the H that I did. Okay, that's not it. And by the way, you can make these a lot larger so you can see them more easily. And, whoopsie, here, I'll bring it over. Not only that, but when I hover over them, they even get bigger. But let's go through. I need to scroll way down here to get to my second set of letters. Here we go. Which H did I use? It looks like I used this one right here. So since that one's selected, I can just click on this one and it changes it automatically. Okay, let's get the Y. And let's see, what Y did I use? Again, I'm just in the glyph area. W, X, and there's no Y there. I'm not sure why these things are kind of haphazard here. Maybe you can figure out the reason, but I just know that if I go down further, I'll find another Y. And it looks like the one I use is this one. There we go. Happy. All right. And the N, I used a different N. So let's go back up here and look at the N's. Did I use this one? Yep. And I used a different R. Let's get this R. Did I use that one? No. I think it's, whoopsie, I think it's one of the ones that's up higher. Let's see, maybe, oh, there, maybe that one. Let's see. Nope, not that one. Huh. Although that would be a pretty one, but that's not the one I use. So let's go back up here and see. I think I'm too far up. So I'm going to go back down. I must have missed it down here. Sometimes you have to go way down to the bottom too. Like there was an A that someone used somewhere and it was way down here at the bottom. I couldn't find it for the life of me for a long time. But let's just start here and I'm looking for what? An R. Should be right around. There it is. Is that it? Yeah, there it is. All right. So there it is. There's what I've done. So what I did next was I just changed it to a gold color because I wanted to use sparkly. And I couldn't find a nice gold over here. So I actually went over to this paint palette because this one lets you go to advanced options and then come in here and get a color that might be more like what you want. Or even if you know the hex number or the number, you could even type it in there. Okay, that one looks pretty good. All right. So what does it look like I did next? Yep, I put an offset on all this. So all you have to do, and maybe I still want to, let's see, is this still editable text? Yes, it is. So I can click on this, come back over to the text style panel, and maybe move my line spacing just a hair bit closer like that. Or maybe even a little bit more, it looks like. Oh, too much. I'm going to use this arrow now. Oh, okay, there's good. All right. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to offset this. So I come over again to this little offset panel. It's the star with the offset on it. Click on it and say offset. I could do an internal offset or a regular offset. I'm just going to do a regular offset. And let's see, I'm going to change it to black to see whether I like that size or not. Yeah, that looks pretty good, right? All right, let's check this out again though, right? There is a problem here. Well, it's not really a problem. You may not mind, but I don't want it to do this for a cake topper. What it's going to do is it's going to go ahead and cut all around the black, and then it's going to cut in here as well. And I don't want to have that in my cake topper. Maybe you do. Sometimes you do. But in this case, I don't. So I'll show you again how to get rid of it. I can move this off, grab this, say Object, release the compound path, and you can't really tell because it's black, but there are little squares around all those little openings. And now I can say Object, or I can say Weld. And now it'll be just like this. And that's perfect just like that. I love it. Not sure why it thinks I've misspelled new. Okay, so I'll just put this back in here, and I can, if I like to, like keep it like this a little bit to make it a little bit more drama, you know, put it a little bit offset. But if I want it centered perfectly, I'll just grab both of these and come up here and center them. So what I did on mine next was I just went ahead and clicked on this. Let me get this one off of here so I can show you. And actually I like the color I have on this one better, so let me change that. I'll come up here to this color swatch area and I can get this little eyedropper and go right in there, and it's going to change it for me. Yeah, I like that better. And I made mine actually quite big. So what I could do is group both of these, go right click and group, and I made it large. And you know, judging, depending on how big your cake is or how big the thing is you're going to put this on, you know, you can change the dimensions. But the next thing I did was I said to send. And since I have a whole pile of stuff over there on my, over here on my mat, when I go to fill by color, look at all those colors. Now those aren't all in this thing. But what I can do is this. I can come to let's see, I'll go to fill, and I know the two colors that I have in here, and they are the black. And notice when I clicked on that, do you see how I put a highlight around there? Let's see if we can go in and see better. Let me unclick it. See that? That shows when the black is selected what's going to cut. The other color I have is this, I believe. Yes, can you see it put a faint green line? Let's see if we can scroll in any more. Let me unclick it, click it. You see how that's putting a little line around it? So those are the two things I have to work with. So let's see, let me scroll back out and even more. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go to, actually what I'm going to do now is I would just click on the black one, and I could, if I want to, even ungroup these so that I could even move this greeny one off of here for right now and just click on the black. And I would change it. I did cover stock heavy, and after that was done I would take that off and bring this back over. And on this one then what I did was vinyl. I did a vinyl matte. If I had glitter vinyl, I think that'd be really pretty, but that's what I did. Since it's not HTV, you do not mirror it, you just do it like this, and then you use transfer tape to put it on your cardstock. So let me see now if I can put this back together. Let's go to design and group, or let's center this first. All right. Now, if I have the business edition, of course, let me change it to that. I can bypass all of this snipping tool, and I can just click on this, group it, click on this and say File, Save Selection. And the reason why I'm saving the selection is I don't want all this junk over here to be saved. I just want my selection saved. So save the selection to my hard drive, and I'll name this one Happy New Year for Cricut. And let's keep our fingers crossed and hope it works. I'm just going to put the Cricut. I hope Cricut works, not this. I'm going to save this file type as a JPEG. Let me think that. I may want to save this as an SVG. Let's save it as an SVG instead and say OK. So let's now go over to Cricut Design Space, upload an image, browse, and there it is, Happy New Year for Cricut. Say Open. I don't know what's happening here. Let me close Cricut and open it again. Upload an image, browse. Happy New Year for Cricut. Okay, that time it worked. Save. There it is. Insert. Should come in with, oh, okay, something I've been teaching you guys to do, and I personally forgot it, and this will show you why you want to do what I'm saying, is look at all of these are little files, little layers. You don't want that many layers to come in. I'll show you how you fix that in Silhouette if you're using the Silhouette for your Cricut. So what you do is this. You're going to go ahead and ungroup this. And then what you're going to do is come up here to the little Select by Color palette up at the top. Click on that and say by Fill. And then I'm going to select, well, no, not that, all these colors. Remember I made it this one right here? Select all of that. And then I'm going to come up here to Object, Make a Compound Path. And that's going to fix it just like that. So now we're going to group this back together, and I'm going to go to File, Save Selection. I don't want to save all that extra junk to my hard drive, and I'll name it the same thing I did before. So if I come down here and change this to SVG, there it is like that. I could just click on that, but I'm not going to overwrite it. I'm going to save a second one, so I'll name this number 2, and I'll just say OK. Now let's go back to Cricut and let me show you the difference. Here's the first one we brought in, right? Let me make it smaller. Now I'm going to go to Upload, upload an image, browse. Here it is, number 2. There it is. Save. Going to insert this one. And look at this one. It just has 2 layers. 2 layers. Okay, here's this one over here. Let's hide it by clicking on this eyeball. Notice this one just has 2 layers. If I go to make it, it's going to cut this on the black and then this right exactly where we need it on the goldish green. If I cancel that, let's hide this one now. Minimize it like that and hide it. Let's get this one unhidden and let's say make it. So there's the black. Of course, I made it a lot smaller. Let's go back and make it bigger like the other one was. So here's the black. So make it. So the black's going to be just fine where it is. And look what's going to happen to the green. OMG, that's not at all what we want, right? Not at all. So let's cancel that. Now we could fix this by ungrouping this. And if we take this off, and we say attach, then that should work. So let's say make it. So this works and this works just fine, but you still have all of these layers that have to come in, and that could slow your Cricut down quite a bit depending on how well your software is working. So I always recommend that over in Silhouette, you go ahead and you come up here to this paint palette and you select by color the different things. We're going to come up here to this little paint palette that says select by color. We're going to come over here and find the colors that are used just in this. There are a lot more that are showing up, again, because I have all this extra junk over here. But we just want the things here. I got to ungroup this first. Ungroup. And now I'll be able to get it. So now I'm going to go to green and I'm going to go to object. Okay, so that's already just one piece, so we can't convert that. Let's go to the white now. We can go to object, make it a compound path. Let's get the yellows. Object, make a compound path. Okay, based on what we just did, how many layers do you think there will be now in Cricut Design Space? If you guessed 3, you were right, I believe. Let's go look. So I'm going to go to Cricut. I'm going to go to upload, upload an image, browse. What did I just name that as? Did I save it? File, save selection, save it to my hard drive. What did I just name that as? Or did I not? Cricut with tree. I'll name it with Cricut with tree 2. Number 2. The second one. Okay. So now let's go to Cricut Design Space. And there's Cricut with tree number 2. Open. There it is. Save. Okay, how many do we think there'll be? Insert. Yep, 1, 2, 3 layers. That's it. And if we wanted to make it, we would just go make it. There's all the white would show up like that. Now we're having a problem because I stretched it real fast, larger than I should have, because it has to go on these mats. But we wouldn't have to do that. So that's how easy it is. Check it out, 1, 2, 3, because we went over there and we made a compound path like colors. So all of these are made into a compound path. All the white is one compound path. Unlike this one, upload, this one, the first one we made, insert it. Look at all these. Every one of these letters is a different layer. Every little star is a different layer almost. So that's the difference between these two. This one comes in very quickly and this one would take a long time and might bog down your machine. So that's pretty much it. Let's go back over to Silhouette again. Again, there's so much you can do with this. Oh, I forgot to show you that in addition to getting the little fancy letters, you also get all these little images, and you'll find these in the glyph area as well. So like this reindeer right here, this guy, let's see if I can could copy and paste him out here. Let's see. Yeah, there he is. That guy. There's just a lot of little things that you can get. The tree, the swoosh, the stars, this little bunch of stars I love. Oh, there's some holly leaves. So I think this is a really nice bundle or a nice font for you to get. And you don't even need to just use it for Christmas. I just think they're fabulous letters to use for all kinds of stuff. So thanks so much for joining me. I hope you see the benefit of using Silhouette Studio for your Cricut machine. However, remember now, you can, for a lot of these, just go ahead and do a snipping tool and grab them and take them over there if they're going to be print thin cuts. If you want to make them into SVGs, however, you need to be able to use the Business Edition because that's the only way you can do that. Business Edition is on sale right now for $48. I highly recommend you buy it. When I purchased mine, it was $99. So it's a good savings right now. Hey, ask Santa for it, you know. I'll have a link for it for you down below, as well as a link for this font. So thanks again. Bye.